industry regarding your view on the energy transition agenda. Are you in tune that Africa should be given time for this energy transition?
Thank you for having me here. I mean, energy transition is real, given the climate activism that is happening in the oil and gas industry and the requirement for the oil companies and investors to comply with the ESG requirements guiding investments. Now, what we have seen here is that major equity funds are moving away from fossil fuel to alternative energy resources. And what we are going to see in the next few years is that there will be reduction in the new investment in exploration in oil and gas, and that will put pressure on African countries to attract new investment into oil and gas. Back to your question, I think that given the global development history, many countries have developed on the back of hydrocarbon resources, initially being coal in Europe and North America and China, and later on with hydrocarbon resources being oil and gas. Now, Africa is gradually becoming the new frontier for deep oil exploration, and we haven't got the opportunity to really explore our resources for development. When you look at the contribution to carbon emissions globally, the share of Africa contribution is very, very limited. And to the extent that I believe that you need to control greenhouse emissions and reduce the carbon footprint, I believe that Africa, given the level of development that we have and the fact that we have a lot of untapped resources and the level, our percentage contribution of greenhouse gases from Africa, the Africa continent should be given a little more space in terms of reduction in carbon to atmosphere. And so I believe that in the negotiation, and it's happening in the recent COP26 conference, where there's I was relatively sympathy for Africa in terms of reduction in greenhouse gases. So energy transition is rare, but I think that Africa needs to explore these hydrocarbon resources for its development. But we must also commit to the global need to reduce greenhouse emissions. And in this way, technology is very important. Africa must embrace new technology in its exploration of oil and gas in the area of energy transition.
Interesting, as we were seeing a shift in global IOCs cutting back on their multi-billion-dollar investments into oil and gas or hydrocarbon, but Ghana is still digging for more oil and gas.
Yes, Ghana is digging for more oil and gas, but we believe that the energy transition, the pace of energy transition will be slower than has been projected by certain analysts. Now look at what is happening in China even recently, in northwestern China, where there have been blackouts and due to lack of energy. China is still building nuclear plants. You go to Eastern Asia, Vietnam, Thailand, and maybe Indonesia, they are still building nuclear plants. Australia has not even made any significant commitment to reduce coal exports. And we believe that the pace of energy transition will be slower than anticipated. Ghana still have a lot of oil and tapped petroleum resources, which we believe that need to be tapped for our development. And therefore, we are not going to leave these resources untapped. But at the same time, we should be mindful of energy transition. And there's a need for us to accelerate exploration and production of oil so that in case energy transition happen earlier than anticipated, the nation will not have resources to be stranded.
Tell me about new investments you're making in gas, for example. Are you building new trains? How much new investments coming through from that space?
Yeah, we have one gas plant with a capacity of about 150 million cubic feet per day. We are planning within the next 2-3 years to double that capacity. Now, Tullow Oil, that operates 2 fields in Ghana, has also made significant gas discovery and is planning to commercialize this gas. This will also require that we build new gas infrastructure and gas processing and gas pipeline. Yeah. We are planning to use gas as a catalyst for development. currently the gas that is produced in Ghana are mainly used for power generation. That beyond now we have excess gas for power generation. We are moving to the new phase of gas commercialization, that is to develop petrochemical industry. Government has set up petroleum hub operation, and we intend to establish a petroleum hub in the Western Ghana, where we are going to have facilities for offshore development of oil and gas. We are going to have a farm tank for storage of petroleum products. We are going to develop petrochemical industry. We are going to build fertilizer plants, and we're going to have an extra gas pack in that petroleum hub area.
Don't tell me you're targeting Dangote's refinery in Nigeria with what you're doing.
We see it as a big threat to the petroleum hub development, because the original idea was that we are going to make Ghana a hub for petroleum products, where we are going to have a logistic piece for supplying petroleum products to the West African and Sahelian region. Now, with the massive development by Dangote in Lagos, we think that it's going to pose as a serious challenge competitor to the new development. But what we are doing, we are going beyond the petroleum refining. The focus is to develop petrochemical industry, producing fertilizer. You know, Ghana is still an agrarian country, producing fertilizer, urea, methanol, and other petrochemical products, using our potential gas resources. We have gas resources that are still stranded. We want to commercialize this gas using the petroleum hub as a medium for doing that.
The head of the APPO, the African Petroleum Producers Organization, are asking all producers in African countries to set aside special funds to invest in their own energy industry rather than just looking outside for foreign investors. Is Ghana's regulation, do you have enough provision for doing that, for example, to set aside funds that will help you invest more in future energy sources such as renewable and perhaps hydrogen as time goes on?
Currently, we don't have certain, but in terms of regulation, but the policy level at the macro level, the government is encouraging private investors in Ghana, especially those with interest in hydrocarbons, to pull resources together to really provide equity funding for new investment. Especially now, the policy is that for onshore and the nearshore fields, where the investment requirement and the technological challenge is as not sophisticated as a deep shore, we are encouraging investment in the onshore field and the near field. Our national oil company, GMPC, is actively exploring for oil in the onshore Boateng basin, and we believe that for once we open that area for exploration, Ghanaian companies with limited financial capability will be able to explore for oil in the onshore area. So we don't have any funds set aside, but at the policy level, incentives is being given to Ghanaian investors to look for oil in the shore, near shore, and onshore areas.
My final point, give me a figure. How much 2021, 2022 investments in billions of dollars are you investing in Ghana?
Let me just now, Tallow Oil is planning to invest $4.4 billion in the next 4 years in this new value proposition. Here and I also made a new discovery in Eban and Akuma, so which we are going to commence development next year. Eka Energy. So here and I is going to do a tie back to the existing facility, and we are looking about investment in subsea infrastructure worth about well over $600 million. Eka Energy will commence the development of the Pecan field, which contains a recovery reserve of well about 600 million barrels of oil. Then beyond that, so the estimated cost of development is about 4.4 billion for Eka Energy. Now, other companies like Amini International, Heritage, Eco Atlantic, and Media are also expected to commence to drill their exploratory wells by second quarter next year. Together, we expect this company to spend well over $500 million here. So, given together with all the development by ENI and Tallow and Eka, we are looking next year for the next 3 to 5 years, investment well over $10 billion.
Thank you very much.
You're
We
welcome.
appreciate your speaking with us.
Thank you.
Thank you for your time.